All right, what's up, fight fans? Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we are here with a Legends of Boxing triple card featuring the random chaos boxing, meaning a random debut universe title fight between Larry Holmes and Joe Louis. And this is actually actually, before we look at the card, let's look at the current rankings. So this will be for Larry Holmes. This will be the second time he has fought Joe Louis. He decisioned him in his very first title defense, and since then has gone on to defend his title against Jack Johnson. And Louis, who drew with Max Schmeling in the title tournament before going on to stop him in the 7th round, is coming off his last 2 wins have both been against Sonny Liston, a first or TKO in round 9 in the tournament, and then in a rematch took Liston out in the 7th round. So this should be a fairly explosive bout. You see the rest of the top 10. Jack Johnson, 6-2. James Jeffries, Joe Walcott, Max Schmeling. George Chuvalo at only 3-1. And he is a Commonwealth champion, Schmeling the European champion. Sonny Liston, Floyd Patterson, Jack Dempsey, whose last fight was a surprise loss to Michael Dokes, in which Dokes captured Dempsey's NABF title. An interesting fight. Dempsey had Dokes down 3 times, but still going into the last 2 rounds was only ahead by 2 points on one card and 1 point on the other 2. And Dokes managed to outbox him despite being battered and tired to take the last 2 rounds and in the upset take the title. And of course, Dempsey still ranked higher than Dokes, and I'm sure a rematch is on the horizon for them down the road. But back to our schedule and tonight's bout, or tonight's card, will feature Dempsey back in the ring against Eric Esch in what should be a tune-up fight for him. Dokes defends the NABF strap against Floyd Patterson, and then, of course, our world title main event, Holmes and Louis. Let's get right to the action. All right, this one not expecting to go more than a couple of rounds, and we'll do auto rounds as we're underway. So Dempsey storms from the corner, and it is actually Esch that draws first blood here as he cracks Dempsey with a hook, and it's a big hook, and Dempsey takes a solid shot, shrugs it off. But Esch pressing the action, mauling the smaller Dempsey. Dempsey defends. Lets the uppercut go for a point by Butterbean. No cut to Dempsey as the fighters reset. So Dempsey starting slow in this one, and Esch showing some surprise in defense. Takes a hook from Jack Dempsey, his trademark punch. And Esch immediately retakes control. And a big straight right hand down the pipe. And Dempsey is hurt. He has Dempsey hurt here in the first round. This would be a huge upset. And Dempsey, off the upset against Dokes, if he lost to Esch, that would rock the boxing world. But Dempsey, looking to reset, gets a big hook in. And Esch now drops him back into the ropes. Esch is stunned. Dempsey stalking, moving forward in his crouch, gets in with a hook. Now looking to take control and take the round, but Esch showing some good defense. Ducks and counters that with a double jab for 2 points. Dempsey now in the final segment of the round, lets the hands go and cracks Esch's defense with an uppercut as the bell rings. And Esch takes a TKO point. So a very interesting first round. Back and forth they went, but it was Esch surprising early and staggering Dempsey. And -5 to endurance. You see the big advantage in endurance, 24-10 for Dempsey as the fighters are up from the stool, round number 2. And Jack Dempsey comes forward, and again Esch showing a good defense, keeping his elbows in front of his face, a la George Foreman. He's going to take a cut there. That's a minor cut under the left eye. Fighters go toe-to-toe and end up in a clinch. Dempsey now looking to assume control. backs Esch up, plodding forward, ducks under, and launches a cross that connects on Esch. Dempsey now moving forward, still Esch, playing cautious, looking to defend, and he eats a hook from Dempsey. Dempsey pushed back into the ropes, and Esch launches forward with a jab, cracks Dempsey's guard, a point for the Butterbean. Esch now maintaining control, plodding forward, trapping Dempsey in the corner, gets through with a big right cross. And the fighters reset. Esch again, though, pushes Dempsey back and follows it with a big hook, a huge hook, and Dempsey's down. Jack Dempsey has been knocked down by the Butterbean. Referee begins to count. 4, 5, 6, 7, and Dempsey up on a knee and finally back to his feet, much to the surprise of the crowd, which is stunned at these developments. Dempsey now is hurt, and Esch drives him into the ropes. Coming in, lands a solid shot and unable to finish him, but Dempsey, in a world of hurt in that second round, tasted the canvas. And perhaps like everyone else, he took the Butterbean lightly. But no joke now, as Dempsey realizes he is in a fight. Let's see how he comes out for round number 3. And once again, it is Esch being the aggressor, and Dempsey a little wary as he eats a hook from Esch. 2 points, Dempsey bobbing and weaving, coming forward, looking to get inside. Lets the hands go, and that's a big hook from the Manasseh Mauler. Possible cut, no cut to Butterbean, who is bleeding from under his left eye. Dempsey moving forward, an even exchange as both fighters exchange right hands. Dempsey now backs Esch into the corner, and a big uppercut lands on the Butterbean, and Esch, solid shot, but he shakes it off and smiles at Dempsey. Dempsey still pressing forward. Esch does not look hurt at all. A big combination by Dempsey. And another TKO point for the Butterbean as Dempsey plods forward and backs Esch up against the ropes again, and a big right hand gets through. Another possible cut, no cut. So Esch now on the defensive as both fighters miss in that exchange, but Dempsey again ducks in, bobbing, weaving, lets the hands go, and a big straight right hand gets through. And Esch is going to have another possible facial injury, and now a cut above the left eye. So cut under and over the left eye. Dempsey plodding forward, but Esch catches him coming in with a jab. Dempsey, no cut for the Manasseh Mauler, and that's the end of the round. So Dempsey, a good bounce back round for him here, and stamina. 17 for Dempsey and 5 for Esch going into the 4th round. And this fight has already gone on much longer than expected, as fighters are up and ready to go for round number 4. And once again, it is Esch the aggressor out of the corner, but Dempsey defends nicely, and he's going to miss with the uppercut. Dempsey now plodding, looking to get inside. Esch, though, lets the hands go as Dempsey ducks in. Dempsey dodges a big right hand from the Butterbean. Esch, though, staying on the offensive, stalking Dempsey. Big jab, snaps the Manasseh Mauler's head back, and Dempsey, he is going to suffer a no facial injury, just slight bruising around the eye. As Dempsey finally gets through, his first punch is landed in the round as a hook caps off that sequence. But Esch right back at him, and Esch, a big hook, and Dempsey sweat flies from his head. Both fighters now circling the ring, and they fall into a clinch as the referee separates them. Once again, even action, and Esch looks like a potential foul, but it's not called. The fight resumes, and then now Dempsey going on the offensive. And a big hook gets through on the Butterbean, and Esch, he's stunned. Eric Esch is stunned. Dempsey now trying to move in for the kill. 20 seconds left in the round. A wild combo gets through, and the bell saves the Butterbean. So this has been quite the slugfest through 4 rounds. And our ringside observer right now has Eric Esch up 39-37, a definite shocker. What's going to be the big determining factor here now is stamina. Esch is down to 3 as we're ready to start round number 5. Bell rings, and Esch once again coming from the corner first, but Dempsey fighting on the inside, defends, takes a hook that slightly grazes his temple. Esch, though, not letting up, lets the hands go. And a big uppercut cracks Dempsey's guard and snaps his head back. The Manasseh Mauler now fires back and gets through with a jab that momentarily halts the offensive advance of Esch. But Esch A short hook. Dempsey ducks under that and fires back himself now as he looks to catch Esch. Dempsey moving in, and a hook to the body, working the ample midsection of the butterbean. Dempsey now maintaining control, plodding forward, tracking Esch down. Let's go a jab that snaps the head back. Fighters finally clinch and are separated. 40 seconds to go in the round. Esch resumes control again, but Dempsey, peekaboo defense, dodges, counters, lets the hands go. A short right hand gets through. Final segment of the round. Dempsey in control. Esch now covering up in the corner, and a combination scored. But Esch counters in a combination of his own as the round comes to a close. So heading into round number 6, and again, the only knockdown has been Dempsey. And Dempsey, his last 2 fights, the NABF title loss to Dokes, and here against Esch, he has looked like anything but the famed Manasseh Mauler, as Esch, giving him all kinds of trouble, is ready to go in round number 6. And Esch now finally enters negative stamina, and it's going to be Dempsey's chance to take advantage of that. Here we go, round number 6, and the fighters spring from their corner, and this time it's Dempsey who takes control in the first segment of the round. Big hook gets through, and Dempsey plodding forward, no cut. Esch already has cuts above and below the left eye. Dempsey now looking to be relentless as Esch is tiring, gets through with another big hook. Backs Esch up into the ropes where he sits and waits for Dempsey to come forward. The Manasseh Mauler obliges and a combination gets through. This round, all Dempsey thus far as they go toe-to-toe and even exchange. 1 punch each gets through. Once again circling, and another exchange as both fighters land a looping right hand. Dempsey now, though, resumes control. Lets the hands go from the inside, and a big hook gets through, and Esch is going to be hurt again. But he's smiling as if to say that did not bother me a bit, but Dempsey continues to plod forward, pressing the action, and another huge overhand hook gets through, and Esch finally hits the canvas. The butterbean is down, and he looks hurt. Referee moving in for the count. It is up to 5, 6, 7, 8. Can Esch beat the count? He barely is up at the count of 8. And adjustments to chin and will. Let's see how Dempsey can finish now. His TKO rating is up to 5. Dempsey moving forward, letting the hands go. A huge combination, and Esch back into the ropes. And the bell will save him. Looks like the referee was ready to jump in and stop that. And going into his corner, he's going to check on Esch. This fight could still be over. And he is satisfied. The fight will proceed. So Dempsey climbing back into that, and a big -7 to stamina for Esch, and he is in a world of hurt. Dempsey still has 7 points left and 4 rounds to finish the deal. As round number 7 gets underway, and we're going to have an even exchange at ring center as both fighters get through with the right hand. Esch now, though, despite being tired, plods forward, takes control, and a big straight right hand down the pipe. Rocks Dempsey. Esch looking to follow up. Dempsey backs into the ropes. Esch coming forward. Another right hand gets through. Dempsey finally ties up, pushes off, and lets the hands go. The Manasseh Mauler. And another huge hook. And Esch, another solid shot. Backs into the ropes, but he's smiling again. Dempsey comes forward. Esch has taken some hellacious shots. Only been down once as Dempsey works the body. Dempsey, though, looking to finish this. Esch looking to defend, covering up, and ducking under a hook is the butterbean. Dempsey, though, relentless. A minute to go in the round. Dempsey looking to finish this, going to the body and the head. And another TKO point for Esch. He is in trouble. Dempsey pressing forward. Lets the hands go again. And a big combination gets through. Referee looking closely at Esch. Final segment of the round, under 20 seconds. Dempsey plodding forward, looking to finish it. And Esch blocks a cross as the bell saves him once again. So Dempsey, surprisingly, about to go into round 8. And let's see what Esch's corner has to say, as Esch down to 1 power. His will is down to 5, and his chin is at 6. So round number 8, Dempsey looking to finish him off, still with 4 endurance, and he springs from the corner like a cat. The Manasseh Mauler catches Esch, drives him back with a big right hand into the ropes. Esch stays against the ropes. Dempsey moves forward, ducks inside. Right cross to the body, hook to the head, and Esch is going to have another cut. Now he's got major swelling around the left eye. That left eye is a mess. Dempsey pressing forward again. Again, Esch trying to defend, cannot. A combination gets through. Dempsey relentless now as the fighters ring center, and they fall into a clinch. Esch hanging on for dear life. Dempsey pushes him away, moves forward, lets the hands go once again. Another huge hook, and once again, Esch absorbs a wicked shot, and he is okay. Dempsey, though, pressing forward, looking to finish it right here in the 8th round. A big right hand gets through, and Esch driven back into the ropes. Dempsey pursuing, relentless, chasing Esch, who now moves backwards in a combination from the Manasseh Mauler. Under 55 seconds to go in the round. Can Dempsey finish him? And a potential foul check, and Esch is warned for a low blow. As we move into the final segment of the round, both fighters get through with a punch, and Esch remains on his feet as we are going to go into round number 9. Dempsey, though, still has stamina left, and Esch, minus 18, he is beyond tired. Our ringside expert, since we last checked, has given every round to Dempsey. The Manasseh Mauler now up 77-74 on the unofficial card, but Dempsey would not be satisfied with the decision. He's going to look to finish Esch as round 9 gets underway, and a huge combination lands, and Esch staggered back into the ropes. Dempsey springing forward, 2 punches land, and Esch, that's it. It is over. Eric Esch out on his feet, and Dempsey, the winner by TKO at 39 seconds of round number 9. So Dempsey, a much, much tougher fight than expected. But he is able to survive an early surprise knockdown and come back and dominate Esch over the second half of the fight. The story of this was definitely Butterbean's stamina, as he was tired from the 5th round on, and Dempsey finally took advantage of that to climb back in the fight, wear him down, and stop him in the 9th. So next up, we'll have our NABF title fight. And again, Dokes, who captured the title with his upset win over Dempsey, defending against Floyd Patterson, and Patterson has been on a bit of a roll. The main story here will be Patterson's chin. He is notoriously chinny, and he's going to look to outbox Dokes and wear him down. As we're ready to go, a very slight advantage on the stamina to Dokes. So Patterson is set to come out and apply pressure from the opening round. He comes forward, and Dokes into the corner, defends nicely, blocks the hooks, and counters. An uppercut gets through. Patterson's head snap back, cautiously coming forward now, and the fighters both throw punches, both miss. Patterson now resuming control. Looking to box from the outside and launches in, feints with the right, gets through with a hook. Patterson outboxing Dokes early here in the opening round of this clash. A big uppercut gets through, snaps Dokes' head back. Patterson now moving forward again. Dokes looking to defend and eats a hook from Patterson. First round has been all Floyd Patterson. And Dokes had his moments of inconsistency against Dempsey as well, as another combination gets through from the challenger. And Patterson, this round has been all Floyd, pressing forward, and a big hook from Patterson. A big hook. Dokes is down. Dokes is down. Now, he was down 3 times against Dempsey. Can he regain his feet here? The count up to 5, 6, 7, 8. Dokes on his knees, and finally springs up at the count of 8. And Patterson, blood in his eyes. He's going to go into full kill mode here. Final minute of the first round. Great combination. And again, a solid shot. Dokes rocked, staggered back into the ropes as Patterson looks to finish, and another big right hand as the bell rings. Dokes out on his feet as he staggers back to his corner, and a huge round for the challengers. Patterson came out the aggressor from the opening bell and dominated the round. Patterson's going to look to box here in the second round as the bell rings, and Dokes, looking to regain his senses, finally mounts some offense as a body-head combination gets through. Patterson, though, quick to retake control Dokes looking to defend, and he jabs, slide slips that jab and gets through with a counter hook. Dokes now, and this is what he did against Dempsey. He looked to be out and would come back in the next round, have a dominant round, and he's doing it here in the second round of this fight as Patterson eats a combination head and body and a TKO point for Floyd as Dokes, relentless, coming forward behind the jab. Works inside, right and left, big combination, and Patterson, he's going to have a deep gash over the left eye, and that is potential trouble. Major cut over the left eye. Dokes now looking to use a jab again. Patterson looking to defend. And Patterson side slips a cross. Patterson now finally takes control, but Dokes on the defense and eats a right hand. Dokes up on his toes now, dancing around as the fighters exchange a punch. Big right hands from both. Once again, ring center, fighters moving, looking for position, and the bell rings. So a good bounce back round for Dokes. And again, this was pretty much the story of the entire fight with Dempsey. He'd have an absolutely disastrous round and then come back and outbox him in Mauler as we head into round number 3. And once again, Dokes comes out fast, using the jab to take control. And follows a nice jab with a big right hand, and Patterson backs up. Dokes moving forward, feinting with the jab. Feinting again, finally lets the hands go. A big right hand gets through and drives Patterson back into the ropes. Floyd says he's okay, but Dokes, relentless, applying pressure. Combination to the head, 2 big punches get through, and now it is Patterson. Looks to be in a bit of trouble as Dokes moves forward, and Patterson blocks a big right hand from Dokes, takes control, spins Dokes around, lets the hands go, and Dokes ducks under the hook, and he's going to come back with a counter shot. A big right hand gets through, and Patterson, wondering what happened to the fighter he saw in the first round as Dokes started horribly, but it has been all him since as Patterson ducks under a hook. Dokes, though, maintaining control. And once again, working inside behind the jab, and a hook finishes that salvo. Dokes, a great round for the champion. But Patterson looking to come back, and an uppercut gets through, snaps Dokes' head back. The first significant blows of the round landed by Patterson. Dokes is going to close the round out with a right hand, and the bell rings. And Patterson, though, now has a bloody nose as well as a bad cut over his left eye as they head back to the corners. So Dokes has come back rapidly from that disastrous first round that saw him on the canvas and out on his feet when the bell rang. Definitely taken the last 2 rounds, and again, a carbon copy of his title-winning effort against Dempsey as both fighters come out in exchange to start the 4th. Dokes now looking up on his toes, blocks a combination from Patterson. Patterson pressing forward, moving in behind the jab. Feints, lets the jab go, connects, splitting Dokes' guard. Dokes up on his toes again, looking to work from the outside. Patterson, hands up, moves forward, takes a hook. Patterson again, gauging distance, lets the hands go, and a big right hand from Floyd, followed by a hook. 2 big points there as Patterson now showing the savvy he showed in the first round. And a huge hook lands from Patterson, a huge hook, and staggered Dokes against the ropes. He's in trouble once again. Patterson comes forward, a big 3-punch combination. Dokes covering up on the ropes, and Patterson looks to finish him. Both fighters land 2 punches there as Dokes fighting furiously back, and a foul check on Dokes, and that's going to be a warning for holding. And the bell rings to save Dokes once again. So it bears repeating. This is an exact replay of the Dempsey fight where Dokes, when he was boxing, would outbox Dempsey, and he'd have letdowns, and Dempsey would hurt him. Patterson doing the same thing, but Patterson has that cut over the left eye to be worried about, and a bloody nose as well as round 5 gets underway. Dokes once again looking to box, and Patterson ducks under a big right hand. Patterson now gauging his space. Dokes moving forward. Dokes coming in behind the jab, and a big right hand follows the jab. 2 punches get through. Dokes now pressing the action, driving Patterson back. Patterson eats another big combination, and it is again Dokes boxing smartly, but Patterson ducks under a right hand, lets the hands go, and another huge hook, a huge counter hook, and again, Dokes is staggered and in serious trouble. Great combination from Patterson. Moves in, Dokes stunned. Patterson looking to finish him. And Patterson gauging, lets the right hand go. A punch gets through, but Dokes shakes it off and is back in ring center. Looks to have regained his senses as he gets through with a hook. So Dokes up to 5 TKO points already here in the 5th round, but now up on his toes again, boxing, and gets a hook through as Patterson ducked under the right hand. Both fighters now at ring center, and it's going to be another foul check. Incidental contact on the headbutt, no foul, as round number 5 come to a close. And we will check in with our ringside expert after the next round, but Dokes now is fatigued. And Patterson fatigued as well. But Dokes unable to put together a consistent fight. When he looks good, he looks very good. And then he has these lulls and gets caught as round number 6 underway. Both fighters miss and reset. Dokes now up on his toes, boxing once again, working behind the jab. Jab, jab, and a hook gets through, pushes Patterson back. Patterson, though, fires back, takes control, and Patterson at ring center. A hook of his own gets through for 2 points. Dokes now looking to gauge the distance, bobbing, weaving, fakes the jab, and a cross gets through, splits the guard. Both fighters now engaged at ring center, moving, feinting, dancing around. Dokes in control. Patterson looks to put the hands up. He's not going to get there as Dokes snaps his head back with a jab. Michael Dokes now boxing smartly once again, in control from the outside. Big combination lands, and Patterson, no answer for that, takes a TKO point of his own. Dokes now rallying, looking to finish the round strong, gets through with the right hand. Final 20 seconds of the round. Fighters looking to go toe-to-toe, but moving, feinting, and the bell rings. So another good round for the champion and our ringside expert. This is a wild fight. They have Floyd Patterson up by 1 point, 57-56. And that includes 10-8 round in the first and giving the 4th and 5th to Patterson as well. So we're at the halfway point of the NABF title fight. Both fighters now -3 in terms of endurance. And Dokes seems to fight better when he's tired, though, as he did against Dempsey. But Patterson out quick here in the 7th round. Gets in with a hook. And 2 points on the big hook by Patterson. Patterson now pressing the action, and a right hand splits the guard of Dokes. Patterson bobbing, weaving, looking to get inside. Works the body, comes up to the head, and a big right hand pushes Dokes back into the corner. And now Michael Dokes, a deep cut near the right eye, and Dokes. That is a huge gash, and that is spurting blood. That could be a factor here as Patterson looks to jab at it and pressing forward. Toe-to-toe exchange as Patterson. Possible foul check on Dokes as he grabs once again and is warned for that. Dokes looking to hang on. Patterson looking to finish him. And a combination gets through for Floyd. Another point for Floyd. Patterson now in control. Pressing forward. Dokes looks to be tired. A big hook. 2 punches get through for Patterson. Toe-to-toe they go. In an even exchange, each get through with a right hand. Patterson, though, ducks under a right hand from Dokes. Takes control. Lets the hands go, and a right hand followed by a hook. And another TKO point for Dokes. And Dokes, he was in this situation against Dempsey for most of the last several rounds of the fight. He managed to survive. Let's see if he can do it against Patterson. And just like in that fight, things are not looking good for the champion. And if Patterson can take the title, that sets up an intriguing matchup with Jack Dempsey. As Dempsey not in the world title picture currently, as round 8 is underway. And here comes Dokes again, looking to dance and box, gets through the combination. Dokes circling the ring now, hands by his side. Patterson looking to defend. Dokes, a wild hook, whistles over the head of Patterson. Both fighters exchange blows at ring center. Now Patterson looking to capitalize on that, takes control, and a jab snaps Dokes' head back. Dokes in trouble here in the 8th round. Once again, Patterson now taking control, working behind the jab, and that jab has Dokes in trouble. Dokes looks a little bit groggy as Patterson moves in. Lets the hands go. Fakes with the right hand, and a huge hook connects. Patterson now looking to follow up on that advantage. Dokes looking to defend, has his guard up, and big hook by Patterson misses. Dokes comes back with a jab, and the fighters settle at ring center, and another exchange of blows. Right hand by Patterson, hook by Dokes. Final segment of the round, and they fall into a clinch as the bell rings, and once again, Dokes on the verge of a possible stoppage. He manages to survive the round. One thing that is different, though, in this fight, in the rounds that Dempsey didn't dominate him, Dokes had the advantage of Patterson actually doing a pretty good job outboxing him here. As we're ready to go, round number 9. And again, the co-main event world title fight coming up. Holmes against Joe Louis, as Dokes lands a beautiful uppercut to start the action here in round number 9. And Dokes pressing forward now, boxing, and a big combination. Snaps Patterson's head back. Patterson back into his corner, motions Dokes to come in. Playing peekaboo and missing with a hook. Patterson counters. Combination for Patterson as he extricates himself, gets back to ring center. Patterson now up on his toes. And Patterson lets a combination go. Dokes takes it on the elbows. Patterson again resets, feints, and finally fires across down the pipe that gets through. Dokes now staying tough, and Dokes catches Patterson ducking into an uppercut and another TKO point for Floyd. But Floyd, undaunted by that, fires back, and a combination to the head for 2 points. Patterson now up on his toes. Dokes matching him. Dokes feints with the left hand. Jab, double hook, 2 points get through. Dokes now looking to stalk Patterson as the round is coming down to the closing seconds. And a huge hook by Michael Dokes. And Patterson goes down here in the 9th round. Finally, Dokes able to land the big shot. Patterson, the count is up to 5, 6. Is he going to make it back to his feet? Up on his knees, and finally at the count of 7, Patterson is up, and he will be saved by the bell. But another TKO point for Floyd, and referee's going to take a look at him. And that was a huge round for Dokes, a big turning point. As we are heading into round number 9, both fighters fatigued, both fighters seriously banged up. After this, the championship rounds will be coming up, and that's where Dokes excelled against Dempsey. And here in round number 10, he comes out fast with a combination. Both fighters now looking to exchange, both getting through with the right hand. Once again at ring center and jockeying, moving, trying to get position, trying to work angles. Finally, Patterson takes control, lets the hands go, and a huge uppercut caps off that sequence. Dokes, though, back up on his toes, dancing. Floyd coming forward, guard up. Eats a hook from Dokes. Dokes looking to pressure Patterson now and use his heavier frame to back the smaller man up. Gets through with an uppercut. Patterson once again, though, getting distance at ring center. Lets the hands go and a hook to the body. And that was a vicious hook to the liver. Dokes shakes it off. And toe-to-toe, an excellent flurry. Rights and lefts. Both men get through. Both men taking hard shots. Patterson now looking to press the action. Can he get Dokes in trouble as a short right hand gets through and the round comes to a close? So once again, Dokes, TKO up to 9, well above his rating of 6, but hanging tough as we get ready for the championship rounds. Dokes, however, at a minus 21 stamina now. Let's see how our ringside expert has it at 95-93 Patterson. And as a reminder, Dempsey was in a similar position in their world title fight, and it was Dokes who outboxed the Anasimalo the last 2 rounds to capture the title. Let's see if he can conjure that same magic here against Patterson as the bell rings for round number 11. And both fighters come out firing. 2 big punches each get through. Patterson now working to get inside. Digs a hook to the body again, working the body of Dokes. Dokes does not like those punches. Back at ring center, both fighters circle to their left. Patterson now up on his toes, feinting with the jab, and finally firing across down the pipe that gets through, and that's going to be another cut from Dokes. Dokes now bleeding from the mouth. That right eye has not been a problem since it originally occurred, but we're going to have an accidental headbutt, no damage. Fighters reset. Patterson now in control. Dokes looking to defend, and an uppercut gets through, and another TKO point for Dokes. Patterson now boxing smartly, sensing he might be able to finish him. A short right hand gets through. Dokes paws at his head, but there's no further damage to that eye as Patterson in control. And Dokes dodges a combination, fires back with a short right hand that Patterson eats. Dokes now pressing forward, looking to finish the round big in the last segment. And a cross gets through as the bell rings, and we are heading to round number 12. And it looks like another decision. And I have to think Patterson took that last round. So in my view, Dokes is going to need a knockout to capture this as we're ready to go. Fighters meet at ring center, shake hands, and final round underway. Dokes, his control up to a 14 now, and it's a foul called against Patterson for a low blow. Once again, both fighters, ring center, fall into a clinch. Both are exhausted at this point. And again, moving, jockeying, feinting, but not throwing punches. Once again, an even exchange as both fighters get through with a jab and a right hand. Dancing around and another clinch. Both fighters looking to hang on till the final bell. Patterson thinks he has this. He's in control. Boxing now, working the jab, and an uppercut gets through. Dokes firing back. A minute to go. He gets desperate. He knows he might need a stoppage as a combination. Rocks Patterson. Patterson, though, stable on his feet, dancing around. Both fighters moving, feinting. Final 20 seconds of the fight. And both fighters exchange, and a furious exchange as the bell rings. The crowd is on their feet, and we are going to go to the judges' cards. So by my eyes, I have Patterson a winner, and our ringside expert also gave Patterson the last two rounds. Here's our official result. Judge number 1, 115 to 111 Patterson. Judge number 2, the same, and judge number 3, a surprising 113-113 score, but your winner and new North American Boxing Federation champion by majority decision, Floyd Patterson. So that sets up again an intriguing matchup. Dempsey, I know his camp talked about wanting to get revenge on Michael Dokes. But at this point, again, not being in the current world title picture, does he focus instead on going after Patterson and regaining the NABF title? We will see what negotiations come out of that. And with that, we are ready for our main event of the evening. And this will be 15 rounds for the heavyweight championship of the world. And again, the Legends of Boxing Random Chaos Boxing Universe heavyweight title. And one thing I want to mention too is, I should have mentioned this sooner. The programmers have added the ability to create your own fighters in universe mode now. Previously, upon release, the only way you could do that was if you did a career. But now you can add fighters to any weight class that you own and basically expand the universe. I've added about 25 tomato cans to my universe for the purpose of building records, and also added some of, I guess, my favorite historical fighters. Guys like Gunboat Smith are in the universe now. So a great feature, I think, personally, especially if you want to build a universe where you are taking the better fighters instead of fighting them against each other right out of the gate. Fight them against the scrubs, let them build up some records, get your rankings set, and then have the top guys face against each other. So currently there are those 25 opponents / tomato cans, and again, a few of the gatekeeper or marginal fighters that I like throughout history added in. And there's still right now a total of roughly 75 real life fighters that I purchased for the game. I got all 165 heavyweights that have not made their debut yet, so they'll be coming down the pipe. But let's get to our tail of tape, and you see Lewis with this trait here. His chin is a +2 after the first knockdown. And that kind of emulates the tendency he had, and we'll just use the Tony Galento fight as an example. Galento, nowhere near Lewis in terms of skill, caught him with a hook, but Lewis jumped back up and ended up finishing Galento shortly after that. So just a propensity to get caught early and then good recovery power. So that's how that trait comes into play, which is very cool. And these are things I'm noticing too the more I play. So we're ready to go. Round number 1. And the Easton Assassin looking to outbox a smaller man up on his toes. And right out of the gate, a huge right hand. And there's that propensity to take shots early by Lewis. He's okay, though, as he fires back. And an uppercut to the body was blocked by Holmes. Holmes, an excellent defensive fighter. And he's also in elusive mode in this round as they exchange punches. Lewis, though, coming forward, looking to press Holmes, and a double hook gets through. Lewis now looking to fight his way back into this round, but Holmes boxing smartly, Lewis defending, and a long right hand over the top. Bounces off the top of Lewis's head. Holmes looking to press the advantage. And a big right hand again, and is Lewis, another solid shot, but Lewis is okay. Takes a TKO point, but Holmes landing some blistering right hands here in the opening round, and another long right hand over the top as the fighters circle each other at ring center and both throw punches that miss. Holmes, though, dancing up on his toes. Lewis, guard up, takes a jab as the round comes to a close. And potential cut, but no cut as we head into the second. And a very good round for the champion, Larry Holmes. And his reach advantage may prove a huge problem for the Brown Bombers. We're ready to go round number 2. Fighters up off their stools. And Lewis looking to work from the inside, but Holmes, great defense inside, ducks under a big cross. It has to be frustrating as Holmes did this to him in their first fight as well, as both fighters jockeying for position. Holmes now takes control. And Holmes, a straight right hand down the pipe, connects. Lewis fires back. Holmes looking to play defense. And another big combination by Lewis, and Holmes blocks it once again. Holmes now looking to counter back, and a straight punch splits the guard of Lewis. Both fighters jockeying for position ring center, and we're going to have a potential foul. And that's ruled an accidental headbutt, no foul. Fighters once again moving, circling, prodding. Holmes using the jab, working behind it, looking to get inside against Lewis, and follows it with a jab and a right hand that misses. Lewis, though, even exchange. Both fighters throw big right hands that miss, and we're into round number 3. So not an extremely high action round there. But the name of the game is boxing, and Larry Holmes works very well from the outside. He is staying in elusive mode, and Lewis is going to look to work inside once again. That's his best chance. And he ducks under a Holmes jab, but Holmes, again, playing good defense, only takes one punch there. A short right hand from Lewis, no effect. Lewis now looking to work back in, and a short cross misses on the inside. Holmes dodging expertly, and he frustrated Lewis time and again in their first fight as he ducks under a big hook. Lewis playing with, or Holmes playing with Lewis at this point, as Holmes up on his toes. A nice quick combination gets through, and an even exchange. Both fighters land a punch. Holmes now dancing again, working behind the jab. Lewis plodding forward, though, guard up as the jab falls short. And Holmes showing superior ring generalship early in this one. Feints with a jab, gets through with the right. Back up on his toes, and Lewis chasing, stalking. Holmes stops, fires out, gets through, and Lewis finally working inside. Ducks underneath, and again, Holmes mitigating some of that damage, but takes an uppercut as the round comes to a close. And another close round that you might have to give slightly to Larry Holmes. Holmes definitely showing off that superior defense here as we head into round number 4. Both fighters fine in terms of stamina. And Joe Lewis coming fast from his corner now, looks to work inside, and Holmes is going to meet him there. Taste a right hand, but no effect by Larry. Larry now looking to bull the smaller Lewis. Lewis, though, blocks a jab and bobs and weaves. Working inside, missing. Holmes fires back. And Holmes, a big uppercut to the body. That got Lewis's attention as the Brown Bomber backs up into the corner, covers up. Holmes comes forward, and Lewis blocks a hard uppercut to the body. Holmes now gauging his distance, probing with the jab, and a hook, ducked. Lewis counters, and a body head combination. 2 punches get through. Fighters back at ring center, circling. They both throw right hands that fall short. Holmes now dancing up on his toes, working the jab, and cracks Lewis's head back with a combination and a right hand down to the body. Lewis, though, fires back and splits Holmes' jab with a hook. Holmes dancing, feinting, and Lewis hands down, and he's going to eat the jab, and that's a big, strong jab, and Lewis is stunned. Holmes with a heavy jab as the round comes to a close. And Holmes, one of the few heavyweight champions that could do that with a jab. It was a vicious, piston-like jab that staggered Lewis as the round comes to a close as we're ready to go round number 5. Endurance 12 and 11, respectively, for Holmes and Lewis. Round 5 begins, and Larry Holmes again, dancing on his tiptoes, using the jab, taking advantage of that height and reach, and a straight right hand cracks Lewis. Lewis, though, fires back, working inside, works a hook to the body. 2 points there for the Brown Bomber as now he's in control. Backs Holmes up into the corner, and a short right hand gets through. Not much on that punch, though, as Holmes now back at ring center. Dancing, trying to work angles, and Lewis slips under a cross. Nice defensive move by Lewis. But Holmes continues to come forward and press as an uppercut gets through. Coming up on the final minute of the round as Lewis in control, and a short right hand snaps Holmes' head back. Holmes paws his eyebrow, no blood. Both fighters now even exchange at ring center as they both get through with a punch. Once again, clash of heads and possible cut. So Holmes swelling around the left eye, and we'll see if that comes into play as he now pounces on Lewis and a double hook to close the round. Now, one thing here, Lewis already up to 3 TKO points. Does have a TKO rating of 8, and Holmes also 8, but he has no points yet. So that could be a factor as this fight drags on, and Holmes eases ahead a little bit with endurance, 9-7. Round 6, we're ready to go. And once again, Lewis aggressive early, but Holmes showing his superior defense, blocks that combination and counters the big right hand, and Lewis is stunned. Lewis backs into the ropes. Holmes moving forward, lets the hands go, a straight right hand. Lewis grabs on. Holmes pushes him away, looking to take advantage. Lewis covering up and slips across. Back at ring center now. Holmes still up on his toes, looking to work the jab. Lewis ducks under a hook, fires back, and a big uppercut by the Brown Bomber gets through. 2 points there. Holmes now gets distance once again, looking to move in behind the jab, and feints with the jab, gets through with an uppercut from distance, and another TKO point for Lewis. And once again, Lewis trying to survive here as he eats a hook, and Holmes is relentless, applying the pressure. That jab is like a piston, and a short hook comes through after a jab. Holmes still up on his toes, dancing, working angles. Lewis hands up, ducks under a hook. Final 20 seconds of the round. This round has been all Larry Holmes. And again, a huge hook, and Lewis ducks under that. Shakes his head as he goes back to his corner. So that round definitely, outside of a counter shot, it was all Holmes and working from distance too, despite the fact that he was trying to get inside. So round number 6, endurance, Lewis now down to 3. And Lewis is going to put the pressure on this round, and Holmes is going to meet him inside. Should make for some entertaining exchanges as the bell rings, and ring center they meet. And it's going to be a foul check on Holmes for the rabbit punch. Lewis now looking to work inside and apply pressure, gets through with the right hand. Holmes, defense still on point. Up on his toes again, dancing, circling, firing. Big uppercut gets through, 2 points. Holmes now creating space, looks to get inside and comes in behind the jab, short right hand in close. Both fighters now back at ring center, circling, and both launch. A hook lands for Lewis and a cross for Holmes. Holmes back in control. Lewis tries to defend, cannot, eats a hook. And another TKO point. Lewis up to 5, Holmes still at 0 as Holmes pressing the action, and he is starting to assert dominance in this fight as Lewis desperately fires back from the inside. A big right hand from Lewis, the equalizer, and staggered. Holmes is in serious trouble. Into the ropes. Lewis closes in. Great combination lands. Solid shot. Holmes bobbing and weaving, shrugs it off, and the round comes to a close. So with Lewis, that big right hand always in play, but the Brown Bomber is now fatigued. That's going to hurt his power. So we'll see how that comes into play. And Holmes, after feeling Lewis's power, he's going to be elusive this round as round number 8 gets underway. Holmes staying at a safe distance and misses with a right hand. Lewis ducked under that, trying to get inside, but Holmes keeping him at bay with that jab and snaps the head back. Double jab gets through and a potential cut. And Lewis now was swelling around the right eye. Lewis, though, undaunted, comes forward, gets in, works under the guard, a combination to the body, trying to wear Holmes out and take him off his toes here in the 8th. Holmes, though, a defensive master, slips the cross, gets separation. Lewis, though, relentless pursuing, again tries to get inside. And a short punch gets through, 1 point, no damage to Holmes. But Lewis chasing him down, backs him into the corner, lets the hands go again, and a big left hook gets through. Holmes claims he partially deflected that. He seems to be okay and ducks under a follow-up hook from the Brown Bomber. Holmes now back on his toes and from the outside misses with a uppercut from space, and that's a dangerous punch to throw. You can get countered as they fall into a clinch, and round comes to a close. So Holmes now down to 0 stamina-wise, affecting his power, and Lewis -5. So our ringside expert has this closer than I would have it, 77-76 Holmes, so still anybody's fight. I have Holmes ahead by 3 points at this stage of the game. As round number 9 gets underway, and Lewis pressing forward, working the body again, trying to slow Holmes down. Staying on the inside, Holmes tries to grab. Lewis again goes to the body. A big hook and a hook to the liver that Holmes winces upon receiving. Getting space, firing back. Lewis slips under the right hand. Lewis now, again looking to work on the inside and being effective behind the jab. 1 punch gets through there. The Brown Bomber plodding forward and looking to take this round decisively. Holmes blocks across. But Lewis staying in control, still pressing forward. And another big right hand gets through. That was a stiff one, and another TKO point for Holmes. Lewis now looking to close the show, moves in, working, and another big right hand over the top. Holmes needs to clinch as the fighters are at ring center. Both try to exchange. They miss. Final 20 seconds of the round, and they fall into a clinch as the bell rings. An excellent round, maybe best of the fight for Joe Lewis. So round number 10, and we will then be in the championship rounds where fights are won and lost, but Lewis coming on as of late. And again, Holmes' defense, not like it was early in the fight as he eats the jab. Lewis continues to work forward. Holmes, gloves up, parries the jab, eats the cross behind it. Holmes now back in the middle of the ring, up on his toes. Snapping that jab out, gets through, cracking the Brown Bomber's guard. Lewis works back inside, ducks under a hook, fires, and Lewis connects with a combination. Once again, Lewis coming forward. Holmes having a hard time with his aggression, eats a big right hand as 2 more punches get through, and Lewis relentless, not letting up. looking to close the show. A big double hook lands and another TKO point for Holmes. An even exchange here as both fighters move around the ring and miss. Holmes now back outside looking to jab. Flicking it out, and finally a right hand down the pipe gets through. Final 20 seconds of the round. Both fighters toe-to-toe. Bell rings, they exchange blows. And another good round for Joe Louis. So as we head into the championship rounds, Holmes now at a -6 endurance, Louis -11. Both fighters power down to a 3, and Holmes' defense at a 1. Control factor is 11-10. Holmes with the advantage there. Seconds are out. And round number 11 underway. The championship 5. Here we go. Holmes coming out and looking to box more this round. Lands a combination to start things off. Louis still trying to work on the inside. Still getting in, and a big hook to the body. Louis having a lot of success going to the body of Holmes. But Holmes still up on his toes and dancing smartly. Fakes a right, lands a hook. Both fighters now back at ring center. Bobbing, weaving, they fall into a clinch. Louis pushes Holmes away, and Holmes responds by firing a punch, and a hook gets through there, and Louis complaining to the referee. Referee says protect yourself at all times. Holmes now pressing the action, and another hook gets through. So Larry Holmes coming on here in the 11th round, and what is a very close fight. Louis looking to defend, ducks under the hook. 45 seconds to go in round number 11, and this round has been a good bounce back for Holmes as he's working that jab, snapping Louis's head back. Holmes looking to close around strong. Moves in, and a straight right hand whistles over the head as Louis ducks. So here we go. Endurance -8, -14. Round number 12. Both fighters at a 10 control as Louis, once again, is going to try and pressure Holmes. It was successful for him in the 10th round. But here, Holmes up on his toes. Makes Louis eat a jab. Louis continues to move forward, and Holmes grabs and clinches. Holmes now back at distance, working a jab. Creating space, ducking inside, lands a hook, and Louis now back in the inside, pressures Holmes into the corner. Short right hand gets through for the Brown Bomber, no effect. Both fighters now at ring center, and both throw right hands at land. Louis, though, presses the advantage. Moving Holmes back. Holmes looking to defend, eats a combination. 1 minute, 17 seconds to go in round number 12. Holmes comes forward behind a combination. Louis eats a right hand. He's fine. Louis fires back, and Holmes tries to get the hands up but can't. Eats a hook. Final 20 seconds of the round. Louis looking to finish strong. Working inside, and a cross gets through as the bell rings. Sweat flies off the head of Larry Holmes. And Holmes, since having a big advantage in the TKO points accumulated, 5-0, is now almost caught up to Louis with 4 as we are ready to go. Fighters are up off their stools as adjustments are taking place, and we're ready to go round number 13. What has been a very close fight. Louis now with a slight control advantage. So he looks to work from the inside. Holmes looking to be elusive and stay outside. Use the jab, but Louis gets inside with a hook. Possible even exchange as both fighters land on the inside. Body shots. Louis now staying there. Head on Holmes' chest. Lets the hands go. Combination to the body. Louis, effective body work throughout this fight. Holmes now looking to get space. And a long straight right hand gets through. 2 points for Holmes. Both fighters toe-to-toe, and they fall into a clinch. Minute 14 to go in the round. Holmes looking to leave an impression on the judges with a long straight right hand down the pipe. Pressing forward. Louis, hands up, looking to defend. And Holmes sticking and moving. Jab, right hand. Final 20 seconds of the round. And a possible foul check. And Louis, it's going to be an accidental headbutt as the round comes to a close. And a good round for Larry Holmes. So endurance minus 21 for Lewis, and that's going to hurt his power and control. Both fighters now at a 2. So it looks like this one will be going the distance, neither in danger of a TKO at this point. Round 14 underway, and the fighters fall into a clinch. Fatigue starting to show on both their faces as Holmes, up on his toes, not moving like he did before though. Right hand and uppercut gets through. Lewis fires back, working on the inside, applying pressure. Big hook over the top of Holmes' guard. And Holmes, he is going to have swelling around the left eye. So that's 2 points for the left eye as the fighters reset. Foul check on Holmes, another accidental clash of heads. The referee warns him to be careful as Holmes, looking to work from space, and scores with a combination, but Lewis fires back with a big right hand that backs Holmes up. Toe-to-toe exchange, both fighters moving, jockeying, feinting, no punches thrown, none landed. Lewis in control. Lewis now works inside, feints with the right hand, and a double hook and another TKO point for Holmes. A good round for the Brown Bomber, but Holmes looking to finish strong in the final 40 seconds. Gets in with a hook, final segment of the round. Holmes comes forward, lets the hands go, and that's going to be a big right hand down the pipe, and Lewis is down. Lewis is down right at the end of round 14, and this could be a game changer. Count up to 4. Lewis struggling to get to his feet, and finally up at the count of 7, and he's going to take the 8 count and head back to his corner as the bell rings, and Lewis is wobbly, and that was a huge game-changing punch for Holmes. So Lewis in all kinds of trouble there at the end of the round, and we're going to see how that affected our ringside expert. And that round, our ringside expert had Holmes up by a point, or I'm sorry, Lewis up by a point going into that round. 10-8 round to Holmes, so Holmes unofficially up by a point in the final round. Crowd is up on its feet. Here we go, round number 15. And Lewis from the outside comes forward and scores with a big hook. Pressing forward again, both fighters at ring center as both fire wild right hands at miss. Lewis pressing forward, dancing smartly from the outside, in control. Feints a right hand, scores with a hook. Possible cut, no cut to Holmes. Holmes now looking to get distance, use that jab. Lewis hands up, moving forward, and a lunging hook, and Lewis ducks under that. Holmes, though, resets and fires again. This time he connects as a jab gets through for 2 points. This is a close round and a potential cut to Lewis, swelling around the left eye of the Brown Bomber. Toe-to-toe exchange as we head into the final minute 15. Both fighters get through with a punch. Once again, toe-to-toe exchange and a clinch. 45 seconds to go in the bout. At the middle of the ring, possible foul, and Holmes, accidental headbutt again. Final 20 seconds of the round. Who wants it more? And Holmes finishes strong with a flurry of lunging hook as the bell rings, and the crowd roars its approval as we are going to go to the judges' scorecard. Our ringside expert gave that round even. So unofficially, it's 144 to 143 Holmes. A very close fight. Let's see what the judges say. Judge number 1, 143, a draw. 2, 145 to 144. And 3, 145 to 142. The winner by majority decision, the Easton Assassin, Larry Holmes. So Holmes successfully defends his title against Joe Louis. Second time he has beaten him. And of course, on the undercard, Floyd Patterson captured the NABF strap for Michael Dokes. And Jack Dempsey survived a stunning early round knockdown to come back and stop Eric Esch in round number 9. So let's see how our rankings end up after that crazy card. So Lewis is going to maintain the number 1 contender spot. Jack Johnson, who has already lost, you can see here. Johnson has had 2 shots at Holmes, lost both by decision, so he is out of it. So next man up for a world title shot appears to be the Boilermaker, James Jeffries. And Jeffries, his only loss came to his arch nemesis Jack Johnson, a wide decision in the tournament. But he's come back since then and stopped Eric Esch in round 6, beat Danny Wofford in round 3, and a first round TKO 48 seconds in of Buster Mathis. So again, not elite fighters, any of them, but Jeffries dangerous at 6-1 with 6 KOs. So that's going to be the next defense for Larry Holmes. And other upcoming fights, Jersey Joe Walcott kind of lost in the shuffle here. He's had a good win last time out against Teofilo Stevenson. Before that, anybody can do that knockout of Mark Gastineau and a decision over Buddy Bear. Second time he has beaten Bear. He's also beaten John Tate and Thad Spencer. So not an extremely good resume, but I think a potential matchup for Walcott is Ron Lyle or maybe Max Bear, who's just outside of the top 10. So there you have it. That is our random chaos boxing universe, meaning random debuts of 165 heavyweights plus 25 I've added, featuring the excellent computer translation of the Cards and Dice Legends of Boxing, and a very fine job again by Gary Brown and the team at Rue Games, and they're constantly doing updates. And in case you missed it, the one update that I think many people are excited about in these universes, you can now add your own fighters, and let's just take a look at that. So you can see here I now have 110 fighters active in the universe, and that does not include total fighters, including those that haven't debuted yet. You see we're closing in on 200 here. As you see, fighters down here who are inactive. And they include such stalwarts as Marciano, Tyson Tunney, Ali, Holyfield, Big George, Little Joe, and a host of others: Big Daddy Riddick Bowe, Ezra Charles, Harry Wills, Lennox Lewis, Sam Langford, etc. So definitely some talent coming into the universe as we move forward. And currently active fighters, to show you some of the fighters that I have added. So Joe Grimm was added. I had to do that. Jack Rook, a bare knuckle fighter. Yank Kenny, Frank Slavin, a hard-hitting Australian with a weak chin. Tomato Can, Matthew London Tomato Can, McAteer Tomato Can, Denver Ed Martin, a fighter from the early part of the 20th century. I mentioned Gunboat Smith earlier, Joe Glass, Tomato Can, of course, a takeoff on Glass Joe. Tomato Can, Tomato Can, Tomato Can, Tomato Can. Two more tomato cans, and Joe Goss was also a bare knuckle fighter, not extremely skilled, but wanted to have him in the universe. And then up here, a bunch of fictional tomato cans. So that is the universe, and hope you enjoyed this. Again, check this game out. Can be purchased at ASG Games. Once again, shout out to Gary Brown for creating this excellent boxing simulation. This is Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and speaking of boxing, the next supplemental set for Glory Days Boxing, my game got sent to the printers today, so we should have that back inside of 2 weeks. So excited for that. It features the addition of super middleweights to the universe and some re-rates and additional weight class ratings for fighters like Duran, Leonard, giving them official cards in other weight divisions outside of their primary, and 60 new active and historical fighters added. So look for that on the Glory Days Boxing Facebook page if you have the social media, or Sideline Strategy, the Delphi forums. So Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, hope you all have a great night. Thanks for joining me, and take care, everyone.